The extended deployment of the National Guard in Washington, D.C. has become a focal point of legal and political debate. Initially sent to address what was termed a crime emergency, the mission has been repeatedly prolonged, now extending through at least the end of November. While official justifications cite administrative reasons such as ensuring uninterrupted pay and benefits for service members, the ongoing presence has been criticized by D.C. officials as an illegal military occupation. This has culminated in a lawsuit filed by D.C. Attorney General Brian Schwalb, which challenges the federal government's authority and alleges a violation of the city's autonomy. The situation highlights a fundamental conflict between federal oversight and the district's desire for self-governance, transforming a public safety measure into a high-stakes constitutional dispute. Analysis: reasons and competing narratives. The reasons for the deployment are layered, with official explanations often at odds with the perspective of local leaders. The White House, in a formal statement, has justified the deployment as a necessary step to combat rising crime, protect federal assets, and assist local law enforcement. Public statements from officials have also pointed to beautification efforts and high-visibility patrols. However, critics, including the D.C. Attorney General, argue that the deployment is an unlawful power grab and a political maneuver. The lawsuit asserts that the president's actions exceed his authority under the D.C. Home Rule Act and violate the Posse Comitatus Act, which generally prohibits the use of military forces for domestic law enforcement. The fact that the deployment involves not only the D.C. National Guard, but also troops from other states placed under federal command further complicates the legal arguments. This dual narrative, one of public safety and assistance, the other of political overreach and militarization, underscores a deep division in how the situation is perceived. Consequences: legal challenges and erosion of trust. The consequences of this prolonged deployment are multifaceted and far-reaching. Legally, the lawsuit by the D.C. Attorney General creates a significant test of presidential power, particularly concerning the president's unique authority over the D.C. National Guard. The outcome of this case could set a precedent for federal intervention in local affairs, with potential implications for other cities. Politically, the deployment has ignited a heated debate over the district's lack of statehood and its limited autonomy. Critics argue that the federal government is using D.C. as a testing ground for broader military interventions in cities, which could erode the trust between citizens and law enforcement. The presence of armed troops on city streets, even if not actively making arrests, can be unsettling for residents and has been cited as a potential threat to public safety by inflaming tensions. This situation also introduces uncertainty for the National Guard members themselves, as their benefits and schedules are tied to a mission that is politically and legally contested. Prediction: a protracted legal and political battle based on the current trajectory, it is highly likely that the legal and political standoff will continue. The lawsuit will wind its way through the federal court system, a process that could take months or even years. During this time, the debate over D.C.'s autonomy will intensify, particularly as it intersects with ongoing discussions in Congress about the city's governance. The federal government is likely to continue its defense of the deployment, citing a constitutional basis for its authority and pointing to crime statistics to justify the mission. The D.C. government, on the other hand, will continue to press for the withdrawal of the troops, emphasizing the need for local control. It is improbable that a swift resolution will be reached, as neither side appears willing to back down. The situation may continue to escalate as the deployment extends into the fall and winter, maintaining a constant state of tension in the nation's capital. Solutions: from de-escalation to legislative reform. Addressing this complex issue requires a multi-pronged approach. The most immediate solution would be for the administration to de-escalate the situation by voluntarily withdrawing the National Guard troops. This would be a goodwill gesture that could help rebuild trust with D.C. officials and residents. An alternative solution is for the two sides to establish a clearer, more collaborative framework for federal assistance. Instead of an unrequested and open-ended deployment, any future aid could be based on a formal, mutually agreed-upon request from the D.C. mayor. In the long term, a legislative solution is necessary to clarify the roles and responsibilities of both the federal government and the DC government. This could involve reforming the DC Home Rule Act to give the district greater control over its own National Guard, or even pushing for a more permanent solution through statehood. While these legislative paths are fraught with political challenges, they offer the only lasting way to resolve the underlying constitutional and sovereignty issues at the heart of this conflict.